Hey everyone, I had to make a second video here, and quite honestly, I'm not really sure what I'm going to title it yet because I have a lot to cover, including the fact that we're going to cover creases versus new versus old, because there is a lot of people complaining or posting on Reddit images of a Pixel Fold that is a day or two old versus a Pixel Fold that are now 2 weeks old, and we're getting bumps or significant creases appearing in the center. Which can be a concern because I don't know if it's settling in, but I have a couple bumps under my screen. But the thing I'm happy about is not only am I going to be able to compare creases with a brand new Pixel Pro 9 Fold out of the box, but it is in black. So we do have a new color here. We're going to compare the two colors side by side. And we're going to go over a couple cases because I do now have the Spigen case, I think it's pronounced. We have the official Google Fold case, and then we have that lower budget one that I've used for the first week, which quite honestly, spoiler alert, I still prefer that over this more expensive one here. But we're going to open some stuff and go over some things, and this is going to be an update or a 2 week in follow-up review. Okay, so we still have the same pull tabs here. The thing that's pretty interesting is that the case is in black here, the box versus the white, so you could tell what color you have right from that box. Give me a second as I open this. And here we go again, pulling it out, and it is looking very sleek, very nice in black. Again, I have my review posted about a week ago, but just the cable and some warranty informations and stuff in there, nothing much. And here you go, here they are side by side. The most interesting to note is that the black is not just black, but the actual metal parts are kind of a dark gray, not even gunmetal, like super dark gray, almost like a black metal around the edge, which really helps sell that solid black slab here, where the white has a silver or a polished silver, that's a brushed metal silver along the edges, but it's a lighter silver color. And the problem I have with that is the case I have here actually has a black sticker underneath, so it kind of changes that color. I think this was meant more for the black one. I don't know why they thought that was a great idea. All right, sorry about the interruption. So like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and post in the descriptions the different name of the cases, and I'll put a description to describe which was the one with the black sticker versus that. I really don't have all the names off the top of my head. Again, I absolutely love how this phone feels naked or without a case. I just know that you absolutely cannot have something like a foldable like this. Sure, slap a D brand sticker on it, have it be your sponsor and say that's the way to go, but a tempered glass and a D brand sticker is not enough. Now, this isn't as fragile on the outside as it is on the inside, of course, but it is still going to get things in there, and a hard enough thump. I mean, I don't know, to each their own. I think a bumper or TPU or a nice soft plastic case is the way to go with these. That's what I've had on my Z Fold. It's what I've had on my original Pixel Fold. Now, let's just get straight into that crease. I'm going to go ahead and turn this screen off here. And let's see. What's that? Some like plastic there. And wow, yeah, man. It may not show on the video, but look at this here on the right side, that divot, how it really curves there. Look at that reflection. And look here. It is significantly deeper, the groove, the actual center groove here, that crease, compared to this new one. Now they're saying it's kind of settling in as you fold and unfold this. I mean, I do still have the issue where I have about 3 or 4 bumps, like bars that go across, but I have here, don't know if it shows. Let me see if I can get that to show. Let me pull up a white background. Okay, so I have a white background here, so you can go ahead and see. There is that dot, kind of like a pinpoint. Probably the thickness of a pen tip, right? Let's pull that up. Come on, focus right there. See where my pen's pointing? That little spot that's sticking up actually feels like a nail or a grain of something sticking up. Now, a lot of people say stuff like, oh, it's a grain of sand and stuff. Yeah. Well, I had that appear before I even took this out. So unless dust just happens to be collecting like crazy, that is not dust or sand. So yeah, Google support, try again. That's totally not cool because that's not how it is. And let me see if I feel. Yeah, I still feel those bars that go underneath across here, right here, and right here about 20 to 30% down from the top and up from the bottom. That has to do with the hinge. Well, sorry, let me take that back. That has to do with wiring, flat wiring that's underneath. There are flat cables going underneath here across behind the screen. The hinge itself is flat if you see the iFixit teardown, but there are definitely under the screen cables and wirings going across. Maybe for a battery or for other things, but they're there. I do not have that little dot issue at all. So we'll just start with that. A day 1 hinge versus a day, 14 hinge is night and day. A lot of people may think, well, what's the big deal? That crease is not that big. Well, it seems to be, if I have to throw a number out there, I'm not a scientist here, that's like a good 50% deeper than this. And this was already pretty light to begin with. But if it's that deep already, I hope it's settled. Because if it goes any deeper, then this crease is just as bad as the original Pixel Fold, which everyone made fun of because of how, crazy that crease was. So that's a little upsetting, but not so bad. Yeah, it's the bumps that I'm having underneath that are the big concern. That's a thing that I absolutely can't have happen in less than 2 weeks because that's really not cool. So I'll go ahead and I'll say I do have the Pixel protection on this, but they're probably going to try to repair this time and time again if I say there is a little bump under the screen. So I'm going to be without a phone for a while, even though I know I have a peace of mind that my phone is covered. I don't want to be without a phone for weeks at a time. Walking into an iFixit, I have yet to do. We'll see how that works. So now that I've went ahead and I've covered that, I'm going to go ahead and just go back real quick to the coloration. And yeah, I mean, I've always owned a white Pixel, but this black on black for this setup, especially because it has this nice chunky metal bar on the side, is absolutely the way to go for me. So even though this is not my Fold, I purchased this for someone else and I said that I was going to go ahead and review it. I wonder if instead of figuring out what this bump is, I go ahead and exchange this and get myself a black one. So next, let's just get into the cases here. Now with this black Fold, we ordered the black Google case, which I'm going to go ahead and unbox here. It's in a nice cardboard box, same recyclable paper here. Let's see what we got. And there goes that. Pretty much showing you that it is a 2-piece plastic. It has kind of a soft plastic feel to it with kind of a slightly like a metal G in there. The inside is like a felt material. I mean, quite honestly, I don't know if felt for whatever reason helps with shock or protection damage. I know it does prevent scratches, but I want these as thin as possible and as protective as possible. So if that could have been rubber or something else, I don't know. Phone case manufacturers, you tell me. It does have the stickers for the front, which is great. And not just along the strip, but along all of the sides, because the cheaper case that I have from a brand that I will post the name over the screen here, it's like some cheap brand I've never heard of, only had stickers along the edge, which worked, but it probably wasn't the best. But I did love how thin this bezel was here. So here's my problem with this brand, and I will go ahead and notate up on the screen right now what this brand is. This bezel right here for the case is so, it protrudes up so much that whenever I want to swipe from the left, I have to like dig my finger in and swipe to the left. Maybe because they expected you to put a screen protector on top of this, and that would pretty much reduce that valley or that deep crevice they have here. But this is not comfortable. It doesn't feel good at all. This so far feels like that bump is not even remotely close. So let's go ahead and pop this on without the stickers and see how that feels in person. I mean, I guess I like the black on black. I really loved the panda colored phones of the original Pixel 1, 2, 3 with the colored buttons and the black, white, and orange. I'm sorry, the penguin phones because of the orange. I wish Google still had those funky accents. I guess not. So let me see. Oh yeah. So it's significantly less of a hump with the official Google case. So far that's a win for me. You see it's a little floppy there. That's because none of the stickers are glued on. Can I access the buttons? Does it have a divot on this side to help me open this? Yes. All of the things I need in a case are here. So far, so good. So I definitely will put this official Google Fold case above this one here. Now this is, okay, so yeah, this is probably tied with this other cheaper one that I've had on for the first week, which honestly, for its price, I absolutely loved. This piece here was so thin and it does not protrude out a lot at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and say these are probably the same here. This front case only had a sticker strip down here, which I've pulled off, and that's what you kind of see here. So it wasn't as, secured on, and it did not have much of a divot here. So opening the phone with this case was still kind of hard. This case here, again, I'm going to constantly be posting the names on the screen so you know what I'm talking about, had a hard cut along the case. So it was super easy to pull that open. And the Google case seems to be something in the middle. It's enough. So yeah, they know what they're doing. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm probably going to switch to the Google case for now. So I'll give an update in a week or two if I have any drops or anything to let you know how that goes. So now that we've covered that crease, and it is a thing, so everyone on Reddit, you're not crazy. It's there. I couldn't find a store that had one on display, so I'm happy that I found out that one was being ordered, and I just pretty much took it and I said, hey, do you mind if I unbox it? No problem, since I'm going to set this up for them anyway. So I'm glad I got to test that. I will update you now that I'm going to be looking for any crease issues in about a week, how it's going with this phone. But now that we covered the case, the crease, the two colors, I'm going to talk about some, I'd say, productivities or big wins for foldables. Why you choose a foldable over a Pixel 9 XL, which, by the way, I don't have with me, but I do also have at my disposal. So I will do a comparison between the Pixel 9, I'm sorry, not the Pixel 9 XL, the Pixel 9 Pro, which is the same size as this. There will be a comparison video between the two, since it's pretty much the same size. So where a phone like this destroys something like that has to be in these scenarios that I'll cover right now. So number one here is gaming. Absolutely, for gaming. I've downloaded a bunch of little games that Netflix gaming provides and a couple of others, and you'll have most games be in this scenario where they cannot fill the top and bottom, but at least the screen is significantly larger, that when you're playing in something like this, let me go ahead and, yeah, okay, come on. When you're playing with something like this versus something like this, that is night and day. I literally felt like I've almost tripled the screen size, not doubled it. And you do get a little bit more when you hold it horizontally, like so, rather than vertically. The aspect ratio provides a bit more room. Now, you have scenarios here where you can go ahead and press and hold and go to app info, and you can mess around with aspect ratios. I have tried this full screen option on most of the games that don't take the full screen, and that doesn't really change a damn thing. If anything, it can actually cause some texture issues, so go ahead and keep it at app default. There are probably a few things that will accept that, like some emulators, but then you have games like Call of Duty Warzone, and if ever a game to show why a screen this large is totally worth it, it's for being a mobile gamer, except this isn't the strongest processor. You do not have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 here, unlike the Z Folds. You do have the G4 Pixel one, and by default, the settings will let me go to high textures, high resolution, but the quality is set to medium by default. That is what this processor allows, but it still looks fantastic. I'm also going to point out that this screen on this phone is significantly larger than the Z Fold 6. Okay, maybe not significantly, but that phone literally is as if you took away this whole section here. It is so narrow. When I had them side by side like 2-3 days ago, I totally forgot how much larger this phone was screen-wise. I mean, the aspect ratio of the screen, it's absolutely almost night and day. So something like this that, I didn't change anything. Just straight up out of the Play Store, this was a full screen device, a full screen game, so it works. And it works really well. And I've been playing it quite a bit here. And this is a game that on a smaller screen, I absolutely did not enjoy. So, being able to use it here with a Bluetooth thing, it's pretty fantastic. So I'll go ahead and I'll let that load and just show you like a few seconds of that gameplay. So here we go. I know it looks a little washed out as I'm recording it on this device here, because that video does make everything look a little cooler, but it is absolutely awesome. I mean, you can go ahead. I don't have any frame rate issues. I have frame rate uncapped, but I still feel like my frame rate here is about 60 frames. I think maybe sometimes it looks like it's dipping to maybe 30, but uncapped, it does well. If you go into settings and you go into graphics, you'll go ahead and you'll see that the settings I have on this game right now, let me go ahead and make sure that's focused, is medium, uncapped medium. So I mean, we're there with that. And then if you turn the sound all the way up, it is a blistering loud sound. So absolutely fantastic way to play a game like this. Next, you have games like this. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder Revenge. This is something I've actually played on was it PS5 or Switch? So I'm used to playing this on a large screen. And sure enough, this is built for 16:9. But I absolutely love that it recognizes the resolution and provides that Shredder background. And no matter how I turn it, it'll go ahead and it'll adjust itself. Well, it's not turning now. There you go. And it'll adjust itself, but you still have the game here. It's still very large. I mean, significantly larger than what I had on my last phone. And the game still runs fantastic here. I know this isn't a graphic crunching game, but everything I want to play, including even Warzone, looks and feels great on this thing. So that is another win for me. And lastly, I'll cover something like Valiant Hearts here, which is just one of these games that just absolutely look beautiful. And another game that you cannot play with the volume at max here. It is just blistering loud. I complained about the speakers before, about not being bassy enough, but I don't think I'm going to complain about the clarityness of it and the loudness of it now that I've been using it in games. And this is just something that actually matches your resolution. So, you know, this is a game that will take that full screen. If you had it on a smaller screen, it's going to ask you to reset, but it will be that small candy bar size that is normal, and it's just almost unplayable when you're used to something like this. So this is just one of those that are fantastic. I know Genshin Impact and other really popular, more powerful games, even something like Asphalt and all that, they also take advantage of that full screen, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, I know it's cropping a little bit on the bottom. That's just because I did the whole open and close thing. But gaming, not the most powerful device. But quite honestly, for the games I play, and for most games in particular, absolutely powerful enough. And you get this gorgeous large screen. So surprising to me, foldables are great for gaming. Well, I guess I shouldn't be so surprised because I actually did that on the Z Fold, but the resolution was always a little off for me. I guess now more and more games are working with adaptive resolutions and they're filling the screen more, so I'm surprised at how many look great on the Pixel Pro 9 Fold here. The other thing I'll say for productivity, I don't really use the split screen as much, but when I do use it, it is super useful. You do have the almost drag and drop between a lot of things. All right, so I just have to cut in here and toss a couple more things out there. So I just filmed a couple little quick videos of the display I have in front of me here, and I'm using Adobe Rush. It's kind of one of the many editors you can find for a phone. It's the one that I like since I have an Adobe subscription. I don't have it fully active here, so I can't export at 4K, but this is insane. So I've tried using this once on my Pixel 8 Pro XL, like desperately just trying to put a social media thing together a couple years back. And this was the only thing that could let me get, you know, layers of editing, like pretty much a watered down version of Premiere, but legit editing here. I'm talking about you can scrub, you can add graphics like you see here, you could add transitions, your own audio, tweak things, color correct, all that stuff. There is no way to do this on a phone this size, but when you have something like this, it's usable. I've only used this in tablets and Chromebooks since, but I actually haven't even thought to use it or in a foldable in quite some time, but I just saw a video and I was reminded of it. I put it in and I was like, holy crap, not only is it running really well, but I mean, I pretty much just slapped this together in like I don't know, like 2-3 minutes here. Just filmed some stuff, added some audio, some videos, added some sound, and then sure enough, I have just an image there that's panning, and you know, you can go ahead and show your content, you can move your videos around, you can actually just export or share something immediately. So here's something that is something you can only do on a foldable. There's no easy way to do that here. Sure, you can do that, but by the time you get into like the graphics window and you're in the graphics section, you have pop-up windows and all of that, which kind of get annoying. You don't have everything here all at once. Here you actually have tabs. You want to add a graphic, you have your own sliding tabs. You can go ahead and create a graphic like I just showed you. Instead of, you know, sliding everything out of the way, I can go ahead and I can choose the transition that I want to add in here, and it's added to my timeline and stuff like that. So, you know, pretty amazing stuff if you really think about a mobile content creator. Foldable really is the only other option short of bringing a laptop or a tablet with you. Now, most content creators, if you go to a convention or something, will have that with them. But I'm sorry, I don't remember to bring that stuff with me all the time. This would probably save my ass if I ever needed to do like something like so slapped together. But it's better than nothing. So I'll give you that. And then there's one more thing that is also super fun with a foldable, especially if you're a gamer. And of course, that's something like full 3DS or DS emulation with the foldable screen and having the two halves. So you have your touch screen and you have, you know, your screen on top and stuff like that. I mean, nothing beats this form factor for playing something like this. It really is ideal. And the G4 chip is more than enough powerful to run, if not all, 99.9% of 3DS games. I mean, it all comes down to the emulator. It's not about raw power. You can play PlayStation 2 games here, no problem, you know. But yeah, man, this is the way to do it. Even with some haptic feedback and stuff, even if I had some attachable Bluetooth controllers, being able to play something like this at 2x resolution at this size, you know, beats trying to play something like this with the screens on the side. There's just no way around it. That would be the best way to play something like this, in my opinion. And last thing I'll cover is battery life. Now that I've had it for, you know, 2 weeks or so, I will say the battery life is probably about 95% of the battery life I would get on my Pixel Pro 8 if I'm using it with heavy workload, not gaming. I'm talking about lots of emails, lots of text messages, web browsing, social media, things like that. There are lighter days where I'm taking pictures, I'm web browsing, it's a weekend, so I'm not getting 1,000 emails or whatnot. I absolutely get a full day and still have some percentages on this. Then there are days where I am gaming, like on Call of Duty, and it absolutely burns through battery. But it does the same thing on the Pixel 9 XL Pro as well, the non-folds. So even those phones have slightly better battery life. Games are games, so it's not about screen on time. It's about, hey, are you on WhatsApp or are you on Call of Duty Warzone? Absolutely will, you know, demolish the battery depending on what you're on. But I'm still okay with it. And speaking of that, I'm just going to segue to the fact that if it's not already out, I will have my Pixel 3 watch, the 45mm size review up. This is something I'm also doing a long form review on. It's been over a week. Battery life on this is absolutely amazing. So if it's up already, I'll link it. If not, please check the channel and take a look at that. I got a couple interesting things on that as well. So I'm going to stop the video here. I know it's already quite a bit long, but I just needed to, let me jump over here. I just needed to jump on and just record it now that I actually had to. I actually didn't think I've noticed the crease getting significantly larger, but it's there. It's absolutely there. You know, people are not crazy. So I've never seen that happen. I've never seen a screen settle, the crease settle into a hinge on a foldable before. So gotta keep an eye on that. Well, until then, guys, I'll go ahead and I'll stop it here. If you have any questions or anything, if you want me to check anything while I have both of these, feel free to comment and message me. And if you can like and subscribe, I appreciate it. Until then, you'll see some links for the cases I mentioned down below. Anything you click on that helps a couple pennies here or there. But if not, don't worry. Just get it on your own account. Don't worry about the links. They're just there to show you what I'm talking about. Until then, have a good one, guys.